So today's video is about going for the why. This isn't something that I have come up with. This is from a brilliant speaker called Simon Sinek, and this goes back to a TED talk he did in about 2009 about this idea of how some companies connect with customers better than others. It was in the context of leadership, but it does work incredibly well for marketing as too. And there's the golden circle, which you can see to the left of me at the moment. The golden circle is the what, the how, and the why. And what a lot of companies do, they start with what they do and tell people what they do, then they'll tell people how they do it, and then they'll finish with the why. And the problem with the what and the how is it doesn't really differentiate you from anyone else. If you're a computer company, the what you do is I sell computers. You know, that's the thing that you do, which is no different than any other computer company. But if you start with the why you do it, you know, to make people's lives easier, to look cool, to challenge things, if you start looking at the core of that, the more of the emotional reason why people might want to get involved in it, you know, with cars, if you're talking about a Jaguar, rather than going, it's a car that you get into and drive from A to B, what you can do is start talking about how it has heritage, that it's quality, that it's quintessentially British, that Jaguar is something that is going to, from a status situation, make you feel good. It's quality, it's luxury, it's that sense of history that you get from owning a car like Jaguar. Now, it is the emotional connection. And if you go onto websites like the Jaguar website, for instance, one of the things you can do is you can play the engine noise. There's a recording of the engine noise. Now, the engine noise has absolutely nothing at all to do with the car itself. It'll drive regardless of how the engine sounds. But it's because that is something that's a little bit more emotional. It sounds, that throaty roar as you rev the engine. You know, those beautiful leather seats, the incredibly technological dashboard. These are things that don't make the car do anything different than a Mini, because you get in them, you turn them on, and they take you from where you are to where you want to be. You know, all cars have that in common, but the Jaguar has that heritage, it has that quality, it has that luxury about it. So if you start talking to people about the why they should care, what's in it for them, the value they're going to get from the interaction with your product or your service, that is a greater connection with them, and they will respond to you far more positively as a result. So rather than saying it's a car, it drives, or I'm a hairdresser, I cut hair, or I'm a trainer, I train people, start with the why. Now, hairdressing is about confidence, it's about feeling better, it's about the rapport, it's about relaxation, it's about luxury, it's about style, it's about class, it's about fashion. It's not, I'm going to cut your hair. That's not what people are interested in. And again, for training, I'm not going to go, I'll stand up in front of you and do a training course, because there are dozens of people who can do that. I would talk about my experience with the startup business market. I would talk about how I can help you connect your business together better to improve your profits. How this massive marketing thing that lots of people find quite intimidating, particularly digitally, is utterly in your control. And it's a group of tools that are nice and simple, and you can do it with your existing skills, just pointed in a slightly different direction. Don't start with what you do. The what generally is quite dull. What will happen is if you start with a what, you are telling people. But if you start with a why, you engage with them. They are more likely to respond positively to your product because they can see the value in doing so. I have put a link to the original TED Talk and Simon Sinek's webpage as well. It's well worth a look. Any small business should watch this TED Talk. And Simon Sinek has some very fascinating opinions on things like leadership and business and where things go forward. So it's someone I would definitely have bookmarked. But do check out the TED Talk. It's very, very informative. But I just wanted to put that out there just so you can get a sense of where you should start. Always start with why people should care. Never ever start with what you do. Content always starts with them and finishes with you. Speak to them first and then worry about the what afterwards. Thank you very much.